Now I'm gonna go ahead and just say that I'm the daughter of Nigerian immigrants, the first child for that matter. So telling my parents that I was gonna take some time off of school before going to law school, they freaked the F out. I don't think I've ever really met anybody or heard anybody say that they regret taking time off before school. But I've definitely heard people say that they wish they had taken time off.
I may be young, but I'm ready to give you all my love.
Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. It's Michelle Amaray, and if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome to my channel. So today's video, I'm going to be discussing my gap year experience and just giving some advice on why I personally recommend that everyone who's trying to get into a professional program or continue their studies should consider and explore the option of taking a gap year or years and just seeing what that can do for you. So just a little bit more about my experience. I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin in the spring of 2019. So I ended up graduating a year early, and I always knew I wanted to go to law school. And initially in the beginning of my college career, I thought I was going to do it like right after I graduated. But just seeing how kind of burnt out I was by just being in school for that long, going so hard in undergrad, I realized that I needed some time off. And then not only that, the LSAT alone made that decision even clearer for me because I had not had ample time to study for the LSAT and really get a score that I wanted to apply with. So taking a gap year was just very natural to me and, was just the decision I went ahead and took. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just say that I'm the daughter of Nigerian immigrants, the first child for that matter. So telling my parents that I was gonna take some time off of school before going to law school, they freaked the F out. Like, my dad literally said that gap years are for people who are sick, and like he meant sick mentally so that they could have time to get themselves together. My mom was kind of like, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. All your age mates will be passing you and you're just here doing what? Gallivanting the world. So, that was the opinion that my parents had, and obviously they weren't in agreement with my decision. However, I'm a pretty stubborn and headstrong person, so if I put my mind to do something, I'm gonna do it regardless whether or not anybody's on board with me doing it. So I went ahead, took the gap year, honestly went into it not really having an idea of what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to take the time to really just explore everything and anything I've ever wanted to do, because I think I was kind of having like a early 20s crisis, if that's a thing, where it's like, oh my gosh, I just graduated. I know what I want to do. I think I know what I want to do, but I still want time to just do whatever the hell I want to do and not be just confined to the world of professionalism and bills and mortgages and all the adulty stuff that I just didn't feel ready to venture into yet. So I knew with going into law school, as soon as my 3 years is over, I'm going to be working in my field and working to pay back loans, working as a grown adult, paying bills and stuff like that. And it was really scaring me because honestly and truly, I'm very much so a free-spirited type person. So having the ability to just get up and just do whatever I want, explore whatever I want, really makes me feel alive. So I think I was kind of freaking out about this idea of having to ask somebody for permission to take a vacation or having bills to actually like put financial constraints on what I'm able to do. So I decided to go ahead and take the gap year time to just do whatever the hell I wanted to do. And I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you guys the things that I did. So my last semester of undergrad, I actually didn't spend it on campus. I ended up moving to DC as part of a program for my school and was interning at the United States Supreme Court. Had an amazing time. It was great to get off campus and just explore a different part of the United States. After that, I moved back down to Houston and I started looking for a job. But honestly, I was like, I don't want to work in a law firm. Like, I feel like a lot of people before they go to law school, they get a paralegal job or a secretary job or something in the legal field. And I personally didn't want to do that. Like, even when I was an undergrad, I spent my summers interning. Even during the year, I would intern some places that were like law related, governmental related. And I just wanted some time to do something else because I was going to be doing law for the rest of my life anyway. So I had the bright idea to go work at Hooters as a Hooter girl because I was like, when else in my life will I be able to really do stuff like this ever again? And then when I I ended up hating the job. Well, I just didn't like the work environment and the leadership and the management there. So I ended up quitting after like what, 4 or 5 months or something like that. And then I had the awesome idea to possibly work at a strip club as like a bottle girl, and I actually went in for an audition with one of my friends from Hooters. That was an interesting night. But anyway, sense entered back into my head and I said, nah, this is too much. Plus, in which African household will I be allowed to leave the house at 8 p.m. and be coming back at 6 in the morning? So that was completely cut off. And then, you know, because I am a jack of all trades, I decided to pick up a job as a Bible school teacher on Sundays for a church, and they were paying me. And then I also realized, you know, I really love kids. So I went ahead and got a job as a Montessori teacher during the school week and worked with infants and toddlers and stuff. So yeah, I know it's crazy going from the Supreme Court to Hooters and then childcare, but that was my story. But even during all of those times and the different odd jobs that I had time to save up money because thankfully I didn't have to pay any bills. I was living at home, so, you know, all my money was mine. And I spent my money to travel. I went to Guatemala and hiked an active volcano, Mount Pacaya, for my 21st, I think, birthday or something. I went on a solo trip to Asia. I went to China, South Korea, and Japan all by myself and had an epic time there. And then like just this year or like late last year, I picked up my stuff in the middle of the pandemic and moved to Spain to teach English for a year. Ended up moving back here for other reasons, but you know, I just had time to do whatever the hell I wanted and travel and explore and just pursue all my different interests. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to have a time like this ever again once I entered into like the realities of being a professional and having real life responsibilities. So I'm so glad I took advantage of that. Now, I will say that another advantage that my gap year time has really afforded me is the ability to get myself mentally at like a really healthy state. Because, you know, once you get into grad school or law school or whatever, like you're really moving at like a steady pace and progression in your career. So it's like, I feel like it would be difficult, you know, during that time period to really try and get my mental health in check or my physical health, if that was a priority then, in check. So I wanted to capitalize on this time to really make sure that I was entering into this new stage of life my best self. So I had the time to be able to go to therapy and actually be in it, take the time to do the inner work that I needed to do. And it's been so helpful, and I just honestly can't explain how amazing it's been to be able to put in that kind of work and effort into myself outside of the confines of academia and having obligations in regards to school and a career and all those different things. So I truly appreciated that time. And then I will also say in regards to like my love life and dating, like, you know, I personally always been the kind of person, like when I'm in school, like I really do try to focus on school, and you know, whenever I'm bored, date here and there, or whatever the case may be. But my focus has always been like school. And so I knew that, okay, well, I want to be married one day. I want kids. I want a family. Obviously, that takes time. That takes effort. It takes dating and stuff. And so having this gap year really gave me time to date. Like I went on dates, dated different people, had different experiences, got my heart broken, dealt with F-boys, dealt with the level 10 F-boy that made me go bald-headed, found my current fiance, fell in love, and here I am planning a wedding before I start law school. So you never know what kind of crazy twists and turns life will take you on. And I think the advantage of taking some time off before professional school really gives you the luxury of time to be able to just explore these different things and really give yourself the opportunity to do things you might have not been able to do while in school. And this isn't to say that you can't date while you're in school, but let's be honest, if I was going through my like heartbreak situations and like the F-boy situations relationships that were extremely stressful and just really wore me down, that would have definitely affected my academic performance. And because I know I'm a super emotional person and like things really can like affect me like that, I try to not be in very serious situations because I didn't want external issues affecting my academic performance. So that was really an advantage, and I would not have met my fiance had I not taken these gap years most likely and spent time just dating. Now, in regards to preparing me for professional school, I did want to go ahead and say the advantages of taking some time off. I know, especially for like people in the legal field and stuff, a lot of people will tell you, and like admissions officers and so forth, they really value students coming into their institutions with some kind of experience, you know, whether they took a gap year to explore something, do a Fulbright, work in a certain field or whatever. All of that is helpful information that allows you to come into the classroom as a more well-rounded individual that can offer very insightful perspectives. Not saying you can't do the same thing if you don't take a gap year, but that added time that you get to really just explore things outside of academia can really enrich your experience and others. And just to provide you guys with some statistical evidence as to how these institutions really do value students coming in with experience, Yale Law, which is currently the #1 ranked law school in the nation, only 14% of their previous class of students that are like their first year law students came in directly from college. So obviously the overwhelming majority of students took time off. In fact, the average age of a first year law student at Yale Law is 25. So that just goes to show that these institutions really do value time off, and it can really help improve your candidacy when it comes time to apply for your programs. And going further along on this point, the time off that people spend working and like actually in like lucrative careers and stuff, you can really use that time to help save and mitigate the cost of law school and decrease the amount of money you have to take out for loans. So there's a lot of advantages when it comes to taking time off and not going straight into your professional degree or law school. Now, I do want to talk about the stigma of taking time off and just how to deal with like societal pressure and stuff. I personally have always kind of been that person who really likes to kind of keep my blinders on, and I kind of view life as like a race, and the more I stay fixated on my own lane and what I'm doing, the better for me. So personally, I really do try my best not to fall into the mindset of comparing myself to what other people are doing. When I was graduating, you know, I had friends and peers around me who were graduating from undergrad and going straight into their professional programs and stuff. And, you know, even back home with my parents and stuff, you know, they're like, oh, so-and-so's child is now in such and such law school, da-da-da, medical school, da-da-da, dental school. And it's like, okay, great for them. I'm gonna still go and drink this mojito in the beaches of the Caribbean because I can. Like, you know, just do what's best for you and realize that you're not here to compete with anybody else. At the end of the day, you doing what's best for you is what's most important. Overall, I am beyond grateful for my time that I've spent, you know, just doing me and taking this time off from school. I don't think I've ever really met anybody or heard anybody say that they regret taking time off before school, but I've definitely heard people say that they wish they had taken time off. So at the end of the day, the decision's yours. Just make the best decision that's best for you. Also realize that there are a lot of different things you can do during your gap year time that can really help you further your career, whether that's getting higher scores on your entrance graduate school exams, getting jobs in your field that will help you have a better understanding as to what you want to do and stuff. All of that only benefits you more. And for me personally, I'm so glad that I did it because I get to live now without regrets. Like, I was able to do so many crazy things that I've wanted to do. I started my YouTube channel, started a creative enterprise for myself, and I'm actually in school right now to get my real estate license and do some other things in that field. So I'm so grateful for this time off. It's definitely given me more clarity and more understanding about what I want out of life, what I want for my law school experience, and just basically what I want from adulthood. So it's been a win-win situation for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please go ahead and leave them down below. If you'd also like a video on different ideas on what to do during a gap year, go ahead and let me know as well. Go ahead and give this video a like, share, and thumbs up. And please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
You a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag, saucy drippin' swag, go. You a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag.